Have you ever thought you were in love with someone, um, even though you saw red flags? Or if you knew this person wasn't quite the best match for you in a relationship, did you still go through with it? I think all of us can answer yes to that. Why is that, do you think? Why would we get with someone in a relationship knowing that this person might not be the best for us? Have you ever thought about that? Could you be in love with the idea of being in love? Have you ever thought about that? Let's get into it in this episode of Love is Your Medicine podcast. Welcome. Hello, welcome back to episode 5 of Love is Your Medicine podcast. I am Mitch Wright. I'm happy you are here again. I hope that you are finding value in the message that I'm sharing, which the main message will always be: we have to love and care for ourselves if we expect anyone to love and respect us the way we should be. So that's the main theme of this podcast. If this is your first episode that you're hearing, welcome. If you are back with me again and you follow me, thank you. I appreciate you. So getting into it, like my intro said, episode 5 will be, are you in love with the idea of being in love? And so what do I mean by that? Well, as the intro alluded to, sometimes we may meet a person, and this is male or female. We may meet a person. We may like them. We want to get to know them more. And when we do get to know them more, we may see red flags or things that just don't seem right. But we push on. We either, one, overlook what we see that could be an issue, or two, we may get that old idea or the notion in our heads: it's not that big, I can change him, or I can change her. Well, if you have done that in the past, or if you have done that and you're in that situation now, we have to ask ourselves, why do we allow ourselves to do that? How did I get into this predicament? We need to reflect on it. And just let me say from the beginning, I'm never going to give you advice for your relationship in regards to, I'm in this situation, should I end things? I'm never going to answer that for you. That's something that each individual has to answer for themselves. I would never put myself in this situation because I don't know your circumstances. I don't know anything. And like I said, I said this in one of my first episodes, I'm not a professional at physical or mental well-being. I just simply share experiences that I've had and things that I've learned over the years. 53 years on this earth, and I've done a lot and I've seen a lot. So I just share my experiences with you. I'll never tell you, oh, you need to get out of this relationship or anything like that. We all have to make our own decisions. We have choices. We have decisions. And we have consequences. So you just have to ask yourself, if you're reflecting on your past, why did I get in those consequences with this person that I chose to be with? Again, as with many of the subjects we talk about on this podcast, it's going to take honesty on your part. When you do your self-reflection, you have to be honest with yourself. After all, this is a journey of self-improvement, of making ourselves a better person. One, for ourselves. Two, for those in our lives, family, relatives, co-workers, schoolmates, significant other, a spouse. We want to be our best selves for them. So, yeah, like I said, I rarely talk about anything or give my advice on something I haven't experienced myself. Have I been in a relationship that threw up a bunch of red flags, but I still went through with it? Yes, I have. And I would say at that time, as I reflect back, I think most of it was I was lonely. I was young and inexperienced. It was like one of my first relationships. And yeah, I'm not even gonna put up a front. I may have put her physical qualities over her as a person. So if you can read between the lines, I saw this woman that I was very, very attracted to physically. And I let that cloud my judgment. You know, what's the old saying? Sometimes we put on the, like the rose colored lenses. We may see things that are red flags to us, but we put on those rose colored lenses to gloss over them. And that's exactly what I did, you know, and I got into a relationship with this person. And I would say immediately I started seeing red flags, and, I overlooked things. I said, oh, yeah, I can help her to change. Over time, she'll get better. Is that the right attitude that we should have? Well, if we're talking long term, no. The short answer is no. We should look for someone that's very compatible to us. That's not to say that we're going to find the perfect person. No one is perfect. Even if you've dated someone and then you're in a courtship, you're engaged to get married, does that mean that you're going to be the perfect person, that individual is going to be the perfect person for you? Nothing is ever going to go wrong. No, realistically, and if we're honest with ourselves, no, there are going to be things that we differ on. There are going to be things that we clash on, that we don't see eye to eye. Does that mean either person is wrong? No. It just means that what they want and what they desire in a person or in a relationship, or habits that they have, might not be conducive to what we're used to, or what we want, what we need, what we desire. So you're not going to find that perfect mate, but you should find a person where as many things as possible that you all are in agreement with, that you live your lives similar. Because even when you get married and you move in with a person, you're going to find out even more. And there's going to be things that come up. They might not do particularly like you do, but that's where flexibility comes in. And, when you love someone and you cherish being with them and around them, there are going to be things, the small things that you overlook. This is a habit of theirs. This is what they're used to. This is how they were brought up. So it may be things that they do or say that's just them. That's who makes them who they are. So we grow to accept that, and vice versa. They grow to accept things that we do. Because as I said, none of us are perfect. So getting back to the theme of this episode, do we sometimes gloss over something that's major? Red flag. We've put our foot down on this before, but do we get in a situation where we're lonely, or we just want to fit in with friends or coworkers or family and have a significant other just for the outward appearances? Because when we do that, then our happiness and our well-being mentally and emotionally will be strained. You won't be truly happy. And like I said, maybe you're in that situation now, where being with this person, I may have jumped the gun, so to speak. I may have rushed into this. And like I said, I've done it before. I rushed into relationships before. And so do you find yourself like this? The thought of being in love, the thought of having someone, the thought of having a companion constantly. Does it sound familiar? Does it strike a nerve? So we have to ask ourselves, like I mentioned in the previous episode, you have to stand for something or fall for anything. A lot of that has a lot to do with us and our mindset. If you value yourself, if you're a high value person, you're not going to settle. You're happy with yourself. You love yourself. So you're not going to settle for anything that comes along. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm hoping that's making sense to you. That's my whole theme here. Love is your medicine. Sometimes we have to hear it straight, no chaser. So that's what it boils down to. In order for us to stand for something and to hold ourselves accountable, hold ourselves to the standard that we want and expect of ourselves, we have to love ourselves. It's that simple. And when you start to falter on that, that's going to carry over into different aspects or different facets of your life. A major one being that of your relationship choices. And I have, I have plenty of friends and relatives who've been in this situation that I've watched over the years. So I'm talking to you from personal experiences of myself and also from what I've seen. People being with someone that they don't really meet the standards of what they usually want or what they expect in their significant other or mate. And so then if you find yourself doing this, or you're thinking about it, think about what the consequences are, because like I said, we have choices, decisions, and consequences. So if you're unhappy because you've tried to align yourself with someone who just, might not be the right fit for you, there's going to be resentment. You might grow to resent this person. There's going to be unhappiness. Can this person truly be your everything, your confidant, someone that you can confide in, someone that you feel 100% comfortable with? You have to think about those things. Do you want to be with someone where you look at them and you kind of resent them? You don't truly like them. You may not even truly love them. Take it from me. It's not a great experience to put yourself in that situation. And then another thing that comes with that is, say you aren't happy. And then what might you do then? You might start venting to people. Whether it's, your close friend, a best friend, a coworker, a relative, a family member. You're always going to be negatively talking about this person that you're with. And then what does that do? That paints this negative picture in the person's mind you're talking to. So not only are you unhappy with this person, not only are you resentful of this person, but you're helping other people to feel the same way that you are. So it's a lot to think about. Does anyone like being lonely? No. Do we want to find someone to love, to spend the rest of our lives with, to experience life together? Good or bad, face it all with this person. I would say, of course, for most everyone, of course, we want to find that person. Now, there are those who are happy with their singleness. They are content. They are a whole person living their best life. So not everyone wants or needs a relationship. So before you start commenting or emailing me, I know that, I acknowledge that relationships aren't for everyone. And like I said, some people are whole being alone. Nothing wrong with it. Because they have a life that they want and they choose. And guess what? Those people are 100% putting in the effort to love themselves and to respect themselves. That's what they stand for. So yes, I do acknowledge that there are those who don't want or need to be in a relationship with someone. But for those of us that do seek a relationship, find someone that's compatible with you. Take your time. This is not a race. Some people, they feel like, or I've heard comments before, all the good ones are taken. No. That's kind of a cop-out. All the good ones aren't taken. There are a lot of good, qualified, high-value people. You just have to take your time to find them. You have to look for them in the right places. You might not find what you're looking for in a party club. Think about that. So that makes a big difference too. Where are you looking to find your significant other? Because, I don't know. You can find someone, and I'm not putting down anyone who likes to, go to a club or, party or dance. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying we have to be, if we're looking for a mate, we have to be cognizant of that. Like, where are we looking? What type of crowd are we immersing ourselves with? You know, the people that I socialize with, are they the same or similar to myself? Do I hang around a crowd that's conducive to my lifestyle, the things I like, the standards that I uphold? See, those are the things we have to ask ourselves. Be honest with yourself. You know, relationships they're very fulfilling when you're with the correct person. And even if you're with the correct person, remember, it's going to take work. A relationship is work. It takes good communication. It takes honesty. It takes loyalty. So, you know, be prepared to work, to keep yourself the best person you can be, so that you're offering something to your significant other, and so that you are attracting high value people such as yourself. You see, so when you think like this, when you have this mindset, you're not gonna fall for every other person that you meet. You're not gonna put your standards or your likes or your wants on the back burner for this person. You aren't going to hide things you say or do or change how you act for this person. You know, you want to be 100% you, who you are. That means you're not going to put on a front. You're not going to change who you are. You're not going to act a certain way. Because again, this is going to attract someone that are all those things, but they aren't what you bring to the table. So we have to be 100% ourselves. No front, no dishonesty. They need to know what we stand for, what we believe in, our likes, our dislikes. Some of our dislikes are a hard dislike, like, no, that's not for me. Others can be like, well, that's not for me. I don't do that, or I don't think that, but I respect other people's thoughts. Because see, that plays into relationships take work. There are things that we might not prefer, but we accept them in others, or we tolerate these things from others. See, those are the things that fall into that category that take work in a relationship. Because believe it or not, everyone won't like what you like. You know, my wife and I, we pretty much have like the same taste in a lot of things. But there are a few things where, you know, she doesn't prefer to do the things that I enjoy, but she doesn't knock me for it. You know, I want to go and play basketball or shoot around a golf with some friends. You know, she's like, go right ahead. You know, it might not be her cup of tea, but she supports it because it's something that I like to do. And that's love. That's what we look for. And, you know, vice versa. There are things that I might not particularly care for, or I might playfully give her a hard time about her liking, but I will never, ever hold her back from that, or seriously, knock her for doing something or having a like with a certain hobby. Everyone's different. That's the beauty of life, a variety. So we all have different likes and wants and needs and desires. So yeah, some things that we don't care for or dislike are they're flexible with us. We can be flexible, and it takes work with our spouse or significant other. But like I said, I'm referring to the things that are a hard no for us, or something that we wouldn't do in our life, or we haven't accepted it in the past from any other person. Don't sell yourself short. Don't falter on what you believe in just to have a companion, just to be with someone who you ordinarily wouldn't be with, just to feel in love with the idea of being in love. Because trust me, you won't be happy. So if you are single, I would advise just continue being happy, in your singleness. Continue growing as a person. Find out who you are. Enjoy life. Like trying to constantly find someone, or always constantly having to be with someone, is not a good look. You'll never be happy, truly. You can be alone as you look for Mr. Right. And that's right, R-I-G-H-T, not like my last name. But yeah, if your circumstances have you where you're single now, nothing to be ashamed of. Enjoy it. Grow as a person. Continue learning and doing the things you love. Travel. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your career. Absolutely nothing wrong if you're single. And if you're actively looking, then hey, do the same things. Continue to live your life. Just don't settle for any and everything. I've done that a couple of times in my life, one being a major time in my life. And I don't beat around the bush. It just was not an ideal situation. I refer, sometimes when people ask me about it and I'm talking about it, I keep it real and I just say we were simply like oil and water. We did not mesh together well, and I spent a good amount of time of my life with this person, trying to make it work. Remember, I told you I speak from experience, and slowly, the dislike from different things about this person turns into resentment. And then that turns into, I'm not going to put my all into this relationship. I'm not going to be the best person I can be for this person. That's what all that turns into. And, it's a sad situation. I think back on it sometimes at that point in my life. And I come back to that point every time in my reflection of, at that time, I didn't love myself enough or value myself enough. And so I just accepted this person, even though I saw a ton of red flags. I didn't hold true to myself, didn't hold true to my values, and we have consequences of the choices we make, whether they're good or bad consequences. We get consequences. So, was it a good time in my life? Not at that time. Was it a great learning experience? Yes. Because when I need to put myself in check, sometimes that's one of the things I think about. A time where I didn't love myself enough and value myself enough and made just crazy bad decisions. And so you, my listeners, I don't want any of you to go through that. Yes, the way we're made, we all want love. We want to be loved. We want to show love. Natural. It's built in us. That's what we desire. That's what we may crave. Nothing in the world is wrong with that. But just love yourself and make yourself a priority. Even if you may have not grown up that way or been treated that way growing up, you're an adult now. You have the power within yourself to right those wrongs. Whoever wasn't fortunate enough to value you as a person before, consider it their loss. Now you're an adult. You choose. You make the decision each and every day to value yourself, to love yourself. That's how we were made. So whatever your circumstances are, don't be in love with the idea of being in love. When you fall in love with the right person, you'll know it, they'll know it, and you'll work together to be the best couple that you can be, not only for yourselves, but if you choose to bring new life into this world and you have children, you'll be the best couple that you can be for your children as well. And teach them the things that you value in life and to love themselves like you love yourself. So I wish you the best. I wish you happiness and an inner peace. And, as I mentioned, that's if you're looking for love, or if you are in a relationship now, I wish you peace and happiness, and to continue working, just being the best person you can be, working through any difficulties you can. Each day is, a day to right any wrongs that we've done. If you've listened to me, you know the drill. We don't try to make perfection in one day. Nope, that's not how we do it here. Each day is a new opportunity. So we take life day by day. Each day strive to be a better person than you were the day before. That's what we believe in. So if you have any thoughts or comments or feedback, I would love to hear your thoughts on this, especially this subject about being in love and finding your significant other. I would really enjoy hearing some feedback, comments, thoughts. You can leave a comment here, or you can email me anytime at Mitch@themitchwright.com. Yep. shoot me an email. Look for me on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Love is Your Medicine podcast. And my podcast is on YouTube. I'm also on various different channels: iHeart, Amazon, Apple. So I'm on a lot. RSS.com. I'm on there as well. And when you're on RSS.com, you can actually look up a lot of different services that you may have, where you can listen to my podcast. You can download an episode, download them all. It's up to you. So again, I would enjoy thoroughly to hear from you. Mitch at themitchwright.com. As always, when I am saying farewell for now, you have a great day. Have a great week, a strong, positive week. Whatever you want to do, you keep the mindset to do it. We're not quitters here. The year is almost up, so finish the year strong. Remember, love is your medicine. You have to love yourself and value yourself first before you can expect anyone else to love and respect you too. Have a great day. Go and do great things.